Welcome back to episode 9. I'm Troy Meyer. We're expanding this series to cover real estate, mortgages, and of course private capital. Let's get into it. The Southern California housing market just hit a fascinating tipping point with mortgage rates dropping. We're seeing the lowest rates in over a year, and it's completely reshaping how people are approaching home buying across every county. Maya, what do you say?
You know what's really interesting about that rate drop? How differently it's playing out across these various markets. What are you seeing in terms of regional impacts?
Yeah, well, looking at the broader California picture, we've got a median home price of $883,000 in September, and here's what's fascinating. Sales are actually up year over year. Even with higher inventory levels, it's like buyers have found their sweet spot in this new normal.
Hmm. That makes me wonder about Los Angeles County specifically. How are buyers adapting there?
So in LA County, we're seeing a median around $915,000 with properties taking about 55 days to sell. But what's really catching my attention is that closings are improving compared to last year. And when you zoom into the city of Los Angeles itself, with a median of $1 million or so, sales are still strong despite those higher price points.
That's exactly what I've been noticing. It's like there's this whole new dynamic playing out. What about Orange County? That's traditionally been our price ceiling indicator.
Oh man, Orange County continues to push those limits. Median near $1.2 million, properties moving in about 51 days. But here's what's fascinating. Even at these price points, the market remains incredibly tight. It's almost like we're seeing a new definition of what luxury market means.
Well, that brings up an interesting point about affordability. How are the Inland Empire markets responding?
This is where it gets really interesting. Riverside County is sitting at a median of about $600,000 with properties taking around 59 days to sell. But what's really telling is how steady the demand remains. It's becoming this perfect alternative for buyers priced out of coastal areas.
So, if we look at San Bernardino County, are we seeing similar patterns?
Absolutely fascinating what's happening there. Median around $540,000, 61 days on market, and volume is up year over year. But here's the key. It's not just about the lower prices. It's about how this market is reshaping entry-level housing opportunities in SoCal.
Let's talk about these new mortgage rates. Are really changing the game, isn't it?
Oh man, this is where things get exciting. These are the lowest rates we've seen in over a year, and it's completely changing the calculus for buyers. But here's what people need to understand. It's not just about the rate itself, it's about how it affects your debt-to-income ratio and overall purchasing power.
That must be creating some interesting opportunities for different types of buyers.
Well, we're seeing three main strategies emerge. First, buyers are rushing to get updated pre-approvals at these new rates. Second, sellers are having to adjust their pricing to the last 30 days of comps, not what they saw last spring. And third, and this is really interesting, we're seeing a surge in private capital being used for bridge loans and value-add opportunities.
How should investors be approaching these different markets right now?
It really depends on the region. In the Inland Empire, we're seeing opportunities around property condition and timeline issues. Private money is solving a lot of problems there. But in LA and Orange County, it's all about price discipline and making sure your appraisals are rock solid. The key is having multiple exit strategies and being realistic about time to sell.
What about those buyers who are right on the edge of qualifying?
This is where creativity comes in. If your payment at 6.19% gets your debt-to-income ratio under the qualifying line, it might be time to move. But if not, we're seeing success with seller credits, buy-downs paid by the seller, or shifting to a smaller property. The key is understanding all your options.
Looking ahead, what should people be watching for in these markets?
Three main things to watch. First, how these interest rates continue to affect buyer behavior. Second, inventory levels and time on market. These are our early warning systems. And third, the growing gap between coastal and inland markets. It's creating some fascinating ripple effects across the entire region.
That's such an important point about watching those regional differences.
Do you know what's really interesting? Seeing how these markets evolve over the next few months. With rates at these levels and such different dynamics playing out across counties, we might be looking at a completely new normal.
Sounds about right.
Well, that was episode 9 with Troy and Maya. There's a weekly newsletter link for this week below. If you want a county or city cut for your situation, connect in 60 seconds. No commitment, just clarity. See you next week. Stay sharp.